on, everybody? It's Alex Fishbein back again in the building, and we are here for another Fisch's Friday Rant. And this week we have a little bit of a short episode for you, but it's short and sweet. And so let's get right down to it. So obviously the topic of conversation is the big topic that a lot of people have been talking about recently, and that is the whole New York Knicks atmosphere, drama, reality TV show / high school, whatever you want to call it, they have going on. So let me start off by saying that out of this whole thing, I don't think anyone would have guessed that Carmelo would be the one who's, like, the only one who's being mature in this situation. I'm not saying that Carmelo is immature, not saying that I thought he was going to be immature, but when you compare your front office to a player, most of the time the player is the one who's going to speak out, who's going to say, hey, they're doing this and I want out, screw all of this, I hate this, and I need out of here. Usually that's going to be the case, and I'm pretty sure like any other player would probably do that, unless maybe like LeBron, he would just say, no, fire that guy, and the owner would be like, okay, we're firing him. But anyway, getting back to this, Melo has actually like addressed everything. Like the media's like, hey, what do you think about Phil, blah blah blah, and he's like, look, like him and I will handle that, like we're not going to talk about it, let's talk about the game. And then even just recently they were talking about like the tweets from Phil about Melo, and they were like, just recently, like right after a game, they say to Melo, hey, like, you said you trusted Phil like a couple years ago, do you still trust him? And he just laughed about it and was like, I did say that, didn't I? And personally, I loved that answer. It was like, hey, he sees the irony in it, and he at least got a laugh out of it. He's taking it a little bit lightheartedly, and he was like, I said it, okay, it's not the same anymore, let's move on now. And so I personally love that answer from Carmelo. But like, look, Phil Jackson, just stop, man. Like, just stop being stupid. Like, it really seems like these two are in some kind of like high school relationship that ended badly, and now Phil Jackson is the guy who goes home and like subtweets the ex because the ex is still happy, but he kind of is like jaded by the whole thing, and he wants Melo to go away, but like at the same time he probably knows that Melo would help the team out. And like this whole time, Melo wants to win in New York. Melo wants to help New York get to the playoffs, get to the championship. And Melo has shown that, like, hey, even with the Knicks fans booing him like crazy, he still wants to be there and win it for the Knicks. Like, you don't get many players like that. Like, that's not something that is going to happen often. With a superstar, with a role player, with a occasional game time hero, you're not going to find that. And I think that's something that a lot of Knicks fans are overlooking. Now, I understand with the group of Knicks fans that want to trade Melo to start rebuilding and getting a core around Kristaps Porzingis. I completely understand that. I do. But at the same time, with a guy like Carmelo, who's getting towards the latter stage of his career, and who can still really fill up the scoreboard. Now, this season, it hasn't been his best, I know that, and his efficiency hasn't really been great, and he's more of a ball-dominant scorer. Understand that. Not a huge defender. That's well noted. We all got that. But at the same time, we still do see that this guy can contribute, and he can make a big impact when he's on. And so when you got a guy like this, when you have a superstar like this, usually as the front office guy, your job is to build around him. Your job is to make him happy. Your job is to find a supporting cast that will lift him up and play around his deficiencies as well as playing to his pros. Like, that is something that you're going to see more often from your front office. But, in Phil Jackson's case, a guy who's won many, many rings, who has coached guys who are the likes of Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, a guy who's coached all of those guys, is going to sit there and subtweet his own superstar, and he's going to say, this guy holds on to the ball too long. He doesn't really, play the style we want to play. He doesn't change. Like, hey, man, can you just, waive that no-trade clause and, maybe we can, get you out of here for something? Maybe you can go play with the Clippers. Maybe you can go play with Chris Paul. You wrote a banana boat with that guy once, didn't you? Like, come on, Phil. Just man up. Say to Melo, look, let's go into the office. Let's go, locker room, whatever it may be, and let's hash it out. Just talk about it. Talk about the contract. Talk about the no trade clause. Just talk about the issues going on and try and work something out. If he says, no, I'm not leaving, okay, well, now it's your job to start building around him if he's not leaving. If he's not going to do it, there's not much you can do other than, A, build around him and help the team and try and bolster the team instead of trading for two past their prime guys in Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah. Or B, do what you're doing now and be this little high school diva and subtweet people and do stupid stuff like this. And on top of all of this, with the whole situation with Oakley and Dolan and all that whole thing, this makes the entire franchise just look bad. And the Knicks are one of the most storied franchises in the league. The Knicks have been around for a long, long time. They're one of the original teams here. So you're looking at, anymore, when you talk about the Knicks, people just think about a train wreck, a clown show. No one takes the Knicks seriously. Yes, people are excited about Porzingis, but that is literally about it. That it stops at Porzingis. Anyone else is kind of Then it gets to this whole drama, and it's this is stupid. And then it gets to this whole Oakley thing, and they're like, well, what the hell's going on with this? Honestly, I feel bad for Knicks fans because this is just one humongous train wreck. And I'm going to end this on Phil Jackson. Stop being stupid. Stop being a high school diva and just work this out with Melo so that we can all get back to basketball instead of subtweets. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching another episode of Fisch's Friday Rant. Definitely check out our website, basketballsocietyonline.com. We're on Twitter at @bballsociety_, and I'm on Twitter at ThatKidFish. Thank you for watching another episode, and I'll catch you guys next week. Peace.